just trying to see what the pros and cons to this are, the cost, all that good stuff. I mean, I'm familiar with working with government contracts. We did a lot of storm work for almost 20 years. Just pretty simple, working with a lot of the primes and stuff. Doing some direct contracts, but we always looking at other opportunities. I don't have a Sam's number or any of that stuff anymore, which is not hard to get. I mean, it's just all taking the time to get it online. But yeah, what separates you guys from the rest of the guys?
Well, for one thing, I've been in the construction industry for 30 years. I performed over 1,000 federal contracts that generated $1 billion worth of revenue for the United States federal government. And all of that is 100% documented and can be gotten under the Freedom of Information Act. And so I would never lie about any contract I ever did, because somebody could just look that shit up and call me a liar.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is anybody that I've taught my system to, their contracts are public information. So I'd never lie about any contract they've gotten. And I have looked at, or have had other people contact me and say, hey, I saw this guru over here. And well, fuck, go hire that guru. Do whatever you want,
Right.
But I'll just tell you, make them show you the awards of their clients.
Right.
So anyway, if you just, I always tell people you only have to make two decisions when you have a conversation with me. Number one, you got to decide if I'm full of shit. And if you decide I'm full of shit, no reason to go to number two. And number two is personality types are different. Am I the kind of guy you want to be talking to about federal government construction? I'm not a coddler. I'm not a, hey, Mike, it's okay, you'll get the next one. I'm not that guy.
Yep. So, are you guys? We moved up to upstate New York back in 17. We did the snowbird thing backwards and forth to Florida. We had some contracts up here, logistic contracts. We owned a recycling yard down in Florida for about 16 years, and a couple of our clients were up here. So we came up, my wife liked the place, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so what I'm looking for is primarily some contracts up this way, the East Coast, northeast part of the United States. Do you guys double dab with that, or you do all over? Or?
So, do you have a few minutes for this phone call?
Absolutely. That's what I called you for. Yep.
Okay. So you used a vocabulary word that a lot of people don't know or understand. You said SAM registration. Now keep in mind, I've been in this business for 30 years. When I came in, it was called CCR, Central Contractors Registration. But you and I are going to play a little game. And the answer to the question, before I ask you the question, the answer is SAM registration. Ready to play?
Go ahead.
One thing and one thing only required to be a federal contractor, and that is a...
Tax ID.
No, I told you I'm going to give you the answer to the question before I ask you the question. The answer is SAM registration. One thing and one thing only required to be a federal contractor, and that is a...
You gotta be registered.
That's right, SAM registration. So if you sell cake mix to the Navy so they can make cakes on ships, what do you need?
Registration.
Say again?
Registration.
Okay, and if you sell bullets or aircraft parts or even construction goods and services, what do you need?
You gotta be registered.
Okay, now you said you're in New York?
Yeah.
And if you and I walked through a neighborhood and I pointed to the top of a power pole and said, that's a transformer, would you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you 3 scenarios. Scenario number 1, the transformer shall be replaced by a licensed electrician in the state of New York. Now, in that scenario, you got to hire that guy that's got a license to replace that transformer, but it has nothing to do with the company that got the job. All they needed was a SAM registration. Okay?
Understood.
Scenario number 2, The transformer shall be replaced by a licensed electrician. Well, now, any licensed electrician from any state can go into New York and replace that transformer. Understand, this is federal eminent domain property. There's no such thing as a state. Okay. Scenario number 3, the transformer shall be replaced. That literally means you and I can go out there on a Saturday. So my question back to you is, if you're not the guy doing the work, what the hell difference does it make where it is or what it is?
Understood.
Okay. Now, the next part of this thing is risk. And I understand that you're mobile right now and not sitting in front of a computer, but are you familiar somewhat, or have you ever heard of the federal acquisition regulations?
The verbiage has gone across my brain, but I don't remember.
So the federal acquisition regulations, you can Google it. It's public information. It's all the rules and regulations associated with how our federal government procures goods and services. It's the rule book, how they pick you or how they pick this guy, okay? How they solicit to the public. There's a FAR called 13.004. And if you read it, it says that a quote is not an offer and consequently cannot be turned into a contract. Now, that's very specific legal verbiage. In fact, the title of that FAR is Legal Effect of a Quotation. But the question is, if you turn in a quote to the federal government and they cannot turn it into a contract, what is your risk for turning in a quote? Nothing. And because of this unique FAR, in the video I just texted you, I teach that FAR in great detail so that you understand that you're at zero risk for any quote you turn into the federal government. As far as I know, I'm the only person in the country that teaches that.
Okay. I'm liking what I hear.
Well, that's because you're talking to somebody who's been, you name the type of construction. I'll tell you where I did it and approximately what I made on it.
Understood.
I've done everything from wind tunnels for NASA and the Navy, water treatment plants, all the way down to kitchen renovations.
Yeah, I think, if you, sounds like you've got a way to accelerate the knowledge of what somebody would need to, get into the process of bidding these. One of the things that I was curious on, how are they doing the performance bonds, surety bonds, and stuff like that with these projects?
So according to, remember I was talking about the federal acquisition regulations. When you're talking about payment performance protection, you're talking about FAR 28.102. But 28.101 is where it says that it's up to the contracting officer's discretion on contracts under $150,000. So there are some jobs under $150,000 that require no payment performance protection, no bonding. But if you're asking me specifically about bonding, again, you're talking about payment performance protection. There's 5 types of payment performance protection. There's traditional bonds. There's an irrevocable letter of credit. There's something called a tripartite escrow agreement, where a third party, a bank, takes the money and distributes it among the prime contractor and the subcontractors and suppliers. The fourth option is cash. You can literally write a check, a certified check to the federal government. They hold it until the end of the job. And number 5 is a deed to property. You can turn over a deed to land and get it back at the end of the contract. So 5 types. Now, bonding, the first option, you get from a surety company, and they make that decision on your, quote, bonding limit based on several factors, such as your cash in the bank, your credit, your experience in the construction industry, that kind of stuff. To get to get more specific with you, I don't need an exact number, but if you tell me if your credit score is above 680 or below 680, I can tell you what your options are.
Above.
Okay, so I can tell you that anybody above 680 can typically get what's called a 250-500 program, where you can have a single job size up to 250 and an aggregate limit of about $500,000.
Right. Easy enough.
Yep.
Now, the what's the cost of your services to start, this course or whatever it is you're offering?
I absolutely.
To,
I'm sorry you've asked a question that I'm unwilling to answer because I only discuss money with people that have seen that video that I texted you.
Oh, I got you. Okay. I got you. Okay. All right.
Hey,
and what part of Texas you out of? Are you out of, what is that, Fort Worth?
I'm in Austin, about 3 hours south of Fort Worth.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, what I'll do is I'm heading to a roofing supply house now.
Listen, life gets busy. I'll just tell you this. The federal government's been here for 200 years. It's going to be here for 200 more. I've been teaching this stuff for 15 years. I'll be teaching it probably another 10. I don't care if you watch that video today, next week, or next year, but at some point, just sit down, take an hour, and just understand, do your best to understand what I'm laying down in that video. And then if you have any questions about it, this is my personal cell phone number. Just pick up the phone and call me. I'll take your call.
Easy enough, brother.
Yep.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks a lot, man.
Hey, you bet, Mike. Have a good one.
All right. You as well. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.